2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to the NBA on 2K Sports. Excited, thrilled to be here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm so lucky. Our game tonight featuring the New Orleans Pelicans as they go up against the Charlotte Hornets. And for Charlotte, they're looking to come out strong and make their mark early. They have to look at this game as a great opportunity to do just that. And while we have a moment here, another discussion topic. Shaq, you are one of the most physical players the league has ever seen. Who would you say right now are the league's most physical players?
Sorry to correct you, Ernie. Not one of the most, the most. But anyway, Ernie,
you're not sorry to correct me. You take great pleasure in correcting.
And one of the most humblest.
Elbow sandwich, that's right. So let me go, Ernie. Let's see. Point guards, how about Russell Westbrook? Mm-hmm. Shooting guards, I'm going to go with maybe D. Wade or Lance Stevenson.
Okay.
And at the small forward,
that's easy.
I got to go with the greatest of the game, LeBron King James.
Well, since he took the smaller guys, which is unique, I'm going to take the power forwards. Blake Griffin. And you know what?
He's one of the league's most physical players?
Yeah, Blake Griffin. Yeah, he's physical. He just gets thrown around a lot sometimes, but...
Well, he's not physical, then. Crazy.
No, but he throws it around too, man.
Oh, does not.
He throws it around.
Does not.
Yes, he does. He and Zach Randolph.
D-U-Z-N-O-T.
Yeah, I like
does
Zach.
not.
Yes, he does. And Dwight Howard is physical. And my man, Nikola
Pekovic.
Yes, is one of the toughest bigs I've seen around.
And what's Dwight Howard's name? You can say it.
Dwight Howard.
No, say it.
Super Dwight Howard.
Say it with some energy.
Come on, give us a Superman.
Superman is in the building.
There he goes. There he goes.
Now you ticked off the big fella. That's it for now. Talk to you later.
We'll be bringing you an interconference matchup in this one as the Hornets take to the road. We're live from the Big Easy, New Orleans, Louisiana, for this Pelicans home game. And here it comes, the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony.
Ready, gentlemen? Ready?
Tip-off goes to New Orleans. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. Setting the floor for the Hornets. Kid Gilchrist and Williams are at the forward spots. Kemba Walker is out there with Batum. And it's Jefferson in at the 5, roaming the paint. Well, this is really one of the nicer buildings in the NBA, right downtown, Clark, this home of the Pelicans across from the Superdome.
Kevin, you're always worried about how close we are to Bourbon Street when we come here, man. But, yeah, this was a fortress for the Pelicans last season as they won some big games here, for sure.
Now, here's Walker. Feeds to Jefferson. Eric Gordon grabs the board. And so it's New Orleans with it. Evans kicks to Gordon. New Orleans moving it around. Outside for Davis. Screen by Asik. 6 to shoot. Dishes to Pondexter. Fires for 3. Offensive rebound. Asik with the bucket. Asik's got the first points up on the board here for the Pelicans.
Just lazy defense on the glass there.
Well, nobody boxed out. Nobody put a body on anybody else. Things like that not only drive the coach crazy, that stuff gets under my skin.
Now, here's Walker. Out to the right wing. The baseline J. Again, the miss by Jefferson.
And you talk about the big wins here for the Pelicans last year. How about they beat the Warriors late in the year, which was huge to get into the postseason, as well as the Spurs on that final day to fight their way into that A spot.
He could have forced a tough inside shot, but made a terrific kick out to find the open jumper instead.
Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
Now here's Jefferson. Pass to Kid Gilchrist. 11 feet away, and the jumper falls for him.
And, you know, the Pelicans ended 28-13 here last season. A 6-win improvement for them from the season before. They can be a scary team when this place is jumping.
Pondexter with it. He's covered by Kid Gilchrist. It's Evans on the wing. Kemba Walker with the rebound.
And fancy finishes like that look great, but man, it's embarrassing when you blow them.
First quarter of ball, almost 2.5 minutes in. There's a screen by Williams. And it's Kid Gilchrist penetrating, and it's Quincy Pondexter with the foul. That's his first foul.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there, and really a tough break for the D.
Greg, no problem for me with that call. I mean, he was still sliding right there.
Batum dishes to Kid Gilchrist. Down to 5 on the shot clock. And that one's good. And that ties it up.
How about the head of steam he's able to generate right there and just gets to the rack really easy.
The Pelicans have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. And when you think of Kid Gilchrist, one thing that comes to mind is intangibles. He has a desire and intensity and a will to win that elevates him to elite status.
Yeah, you know, he never will be a great shooter, and he's still working on his jump shot. But the intangibles, you talked about it, you add heart and tenacity to that. Every team wants a guy like that.
Now here's Walker after Eric Gordon's miss. And Walker kicks to Williams. Ashik against Jefferson. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And watching Al Jefferson over the years, he can be dominant and be efficient in doing it. For all the points he's piled up, he's always been around a 50% shooter. And for all the times he's handled the ball, his turnover rate is relatively low. So that's giving your team good quality possessions.
Two shots. Roof shots.
He's off on the first. Talking about Jefferson, it's not just his efficiency with the scoring. He's efficient, Clark, with his time on the floor. He's always producing a block shot here, a steal there, of course. All the rebounds, he covers every base.
Yeah, the data analytics folks rely on percentages to measure efficiency. But just as important as overall production per minutes played, Big Al excels there.
And that one falls, and that puts him up by 1 point.
And Charlotte had a lot of momentum going into last season off that playoff appearance. But they just stumbled out of the gates last season and spent the whole year playing catch-up.
Got freed up. Nice work off the pick. Holiday's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Lynn kicks to Lamb. Screen by Jefferson. Outside, Lynn lets it go from 14, and he gets it to go. Now for the Hornets, they seemed to get back on track last January, but they faded Clark quickly after that and were too far behind to make up room and get in the playoffs.
And, you know, they had a rash of injuries, Kevin, and that really did them in. All in all, it was a season that just didn't have any traction for them because of the injuries.
For Charlotte, they've gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. We've got 1:23 left in the first quarter. Pick by Zeller. A shot by Batum, no good. New Orleans has gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Passes it to Holiday. Trying to find Ajinça. Gets it to him. Cole, the pass to Ajinça. No luck. And Charlotte will go the other way with it. Now in transition is Lynn. Here we go. Holiday with the defensive effort. The Pelicans shooting 33% here in the first quarter. Down low. It's stolen by Lamb. The pass to Jefferson. It's rebounded by New Orleans.
His touch has disappeared on him this quarter. He just hasn't been able to get it going.
And Cole kicks to Ajinça, and he gets it to go.
And he found the soft spot in the D on that possession.
Charlotte trailing. The shot and game clock separated by 4. Screen by Jefferson. Lynn dishes to Zeller. And the Hornets miss again. Cole the pass to Cunningham. And here's Holiday. Anderson kicks to Ajinça. Holiday with the 3. The shot is off. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. New Orleans on top, up by 2. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. And before the game, we heard from Kemba Walker. He talked about his mentality when he steps out onto the floor. You know, he may be having fun, but I'm not so sure playing street ball is really working out for Kemba, who needs to shoot better than 38% for the Hornets to go anywhere, doesn't he?
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I mean, what might be better than continuing to play the same game you've been playing forever is to take your game to a new level, and that's going to take some discipline. I think Kemba has more than enough talent to be able to do that, but that's his challenge moving forward.
And the second quarter getting underway. No team gaining an edge so far. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from New Orleans?
It's all about the depth, really. The bench has been the difference. The bench play really has separated these two teams.
Yeah, it's been a huge advantage for him. That bench has really made a nice contribution.
Setting the floor for the Hornets. Kidd Gilchrist and Williams are at the forward spots. Jeremy Lin is out there with Kemba Walker. And it's Kaminsky in at the 5. And it's Evans missing. Last season was possibly the best of Tyreke Evans' career, at least since his unbelievable rookie campaign.
Yeah, and Kev, a lot of that has to do with his injury history. I mean, last year he played in 79 games. That's the most of his career. So you could say it was probably the healthiest season he's had since he was a rookie.
Just over a minute gone here in the second quarter. Davis with a screen on Walker. Evans kicks to Davis, and that one is stuffed right through.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and one reason why I just don't know that I've ever seen him miss a play like that.
Williams gets the bucket.
And it seemed like they couldn't get anything to fall in that opening quarter, but you can just feel the momentum starting to shift.
Yeah, things are starting to look up. I mean, they're making amends for that slow start, finding a rhythm right now.
And Kidd Gilchrist had that very funky jumper coming into the league. And prior to last year, it really worked tirelessly. Not an easy thing to do to try to change the entire form and structure of your jump shot.
So it's the Pelicans now. It's a three-point game. Evans outside. The dish to Davis. 5 to shoot. That's a 2 from Gordon. That's short off the rim. Hornets leading by 3. Lynn dishes to Walker. There's a screen by Williams. And Walker kicks to Williams. Babbitt grabs the board.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
This one for 3. They get it back. Shot by Gordon, wide open. Knocks down the 3 ball. Gordon's got the game tied up here for New Orleans. The Hornets have gone 3 of 4 from the floor here in the second quarter. Overall, a down year for the Hornets in the 2014-15 season. A big part of that was that they would struggle on the road.
Yeah, and you know they had playoff aspirations, but as you said, those aspirations derailed because of the road struggle.
Now here's Evans. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist unable to get his shot to go. From deep three-point range, and Eric Gordon, another 3. Gordon's got a couple of three-pointers in the second for the Pelicans.
And last season, the Hornets ended with only 14 road wins. Even when they made the playoffs in 2014, they weren't a team that traveled well. It's something the team needs to figure out in order to get back into the postseason.
Now here's Gordon, following the miss by Kemba Walker. Babbitt passes to Evans. That's good. Evans has got his first bucket in this one.
I can't believe defenders are not aware. They cannot allow him that position.
Yeah, you're right about that, Greg. He's put a no trespassing allowed on that spot of the floor. It's all his.
That one's good. The New Orleans lead is cut back down to 3 after the basket from Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
And, you know, as you mentioned, the road record for the Hornets was not that good. I mean, they really struggled late in the year when they seemed to almost give up. They lost their last 7 road games and 9 of their last 10. Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
Walker goes in. That one's in. His first bucket of the game. He's 1 for 2.
Not fazed at all by having a bigger defender on him down low, and I really thought he would be.
You know, at first glance, you wouldn't think that he'd be comfortable in that particular situation, but, boy, I tell you what, he didn't look like he was out of his element at all right there.
Here's Gordon. Kemba Walker making his last shot. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Really unfortunate for Eric Gordon that an assortment of injuries have really derailed his career. A few years back, he looked like he'd be an absolute star. Once a 22 points a game score, was down to 13 a game last season.
Yeah, on the topic of Eric Gordon, one would think he's still young and talented enough to be a difference maker with any team. He just has to stay healthy. That really is the bottom line. He's got to keep his health.
Kevin, the truth is, though he's had a number of injuries, they've all been different. It isn't one chronic thing. So with a little good luck, we could see him shine once more.
Looking who's out there now for the Pelicans. Alexis Ajinça has checked in for Ashik. Anderson comes in for Davis. Quincy Pondexter, he's checked in for Luke Babbitt. And Cole subbed in for Tyreek Evans. And he can't hit the second.
You know, as the season wore on, guys, the Pelicans became a matchup that nobody wanted to see. Very tough against teams that had very few weaknesses, too.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
New Orleans making a switch here. Holiday's checked in. Well, for the Pelicans last season, they were a tough matchup. The defense was one thing, but their mentality, the way they thought through the game was fantastic.
Yeah, and Kevin, you look at their record against other playoff teams, and it stacks up well. I mean, they made the playoffs by never thinking they were at a disadvantage on the floor. And having that kind of confidence in a young team, that only really speaks for a positive moving forward.
Pondexter kicks to Anderson. 58 seconds left here in the second. Cole dishes to Holiday. New Orleans needs to get off a shot. Here's Ajinça. Shot is off. Now Charlotte takes it the other way.
I like the move to go 2 for 1 here.
So do I, Greg. I mean, I agree with you. They need to get a quick look and then try to get another possession after that.
Now here's Zeller. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him.
They started the game off tortoise-like, but their offense coming to life.
Yeah, they've got a little bit more pep in their step as they start to put together some rhythm.
Here's Holiday. 17 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Shoots it up. Money from the wing. Holiday's got the lead up to 5 now for the Pelicans.
Well, what can you say about Holiday when he knocks down the shot like that? Beautiful.
Again, the Hornets score.
Wow, you don't see him make plays like that very often. That's a nice move there for the basket.
And so it's a close game as we wrap up the first half of basketball. Pelicans lead by 3. From New Orleans, back in a moment.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. A competitive matchup for New Orleans in the first quarter. The largest lead for them during the period was 4. The second quarter was a strong effort for them as they continued to battle, and they were able to close out the half in a good position. Kenny, your thoughts, how the Pelicans are playing?
Well, their passing was impressive. They're in a good position to win this game, in large part because of those assists. And this is the thing. You win as a team in this league. You have to share the basketball to succeed. And if they carry that level of unselfishness in the second half, they're going to be tough to beat.
Shaq, let's get your insight on Charlotte.
They ran their offense very well in the first half. There were almost no forced shots. It was good, smart basketball. The motion in their offense was terrific. They made those defenders work very hard. I like what I saw from them for the most part.
And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is about to get underway. Kevin Harlan has the call.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball. Well, you have to like what we're seeing from Michael Kidd-Gilchrist.
Yeah, he's been a revelation tonight, almost scoring at will in that first half.
Really hard to fathom he'll be able to keep it up for the next 2 quarters, but, you never know. It could be a special night for him.
Hornets trail by 3. Evans and Gordon are the guard set. Pondexter and Davis fill up the forward slots. And it's Ashik in at the pivot spot manning the middle. That's Alvin Gentry's 5 as we get into the second half.
And for Big Al Jefferson, he's been a great player in this league, but he hasn't played on that many great teams, and he's never made an all-star team. Hard to imagine.
Well, the Hornets shooting pretty good tonight at 48%. Outside, Walker. And it's Omer Ashik with the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Yeah, he was boxed out and tried to get the rebound the only way he could.
Yeah, he got straight over the back and on top of him there, too, so nothing subtle about that one.
Outside, Walker. Pass to Jefferson. Over Ashik.
Been a cold spell for them coming out of the half, missing their first 3 shots. A tough start.
You know what? He's just stone cold right now. Really not sure if he's their best option offensively as they try to get back in this game.
And Davis throws it down.
Maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that.
And we know he's capable of those memorable dunks.
Yeah, and when he's got a lead like that, why not take a few chances. A lot more engaging and entertaining than just doing the old ho-hum one-hander.
And about a minute of action so far in the third quarter. Gordon, and it's Eric Gordon with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Hornets trail by 5. Now here's Walker. Williams a screen. And it's Kid Gilchrist penetrating. And he gets it to go. Kid Gilchrist has got 10.
Maybe with that, the lid on this basket will be lifted for him.
Evans outside. Outside, Davis. And he gets it to go. Davis has got the lead back up to 5 now for the Pelicans.
That is really poor defensive awareness. I mean, he's one guy you don't want to give any space to. You've got to stay attached and connected.
That one goes. Count it.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a three-point play.
Nothing but money for him to start the half. They've made all 3 of their shot attempts.
First personal foul, teams first.
Cunningham, he's checked in for New Orleans. And then for Charlotte, Kaminsky, he's checked in for Jefferson. Hawes comes in for Williams. And it's Jeremy Lin in for Walker. Guys, you want to talk about one tough guy? How about the Turkish hammer, Ashik? Tremendous rebounder. A space eater in the paint, so long.
That's a great way to describe it, Kevin. Last year he finished 4th in the league in rebounds per minute. Plus he's always lurking as a shot blocker.
He is. Lin kicks to Kid Gilchrist. Here's the screen. The feed to Hawes. He dishes it to Lin. To the paint. It's good, and the New Orleans lead is cut down to 6 and the bucket from Hawes. Hawes got his first points of the game.
And, you know, going back to Ashik, I mean, he's not just a big, immobile guy. I mean, he's got really good flexibility, and that's helped him develop some post moves at the offensive end. He's no longer Mr. Dunk or nothing.
Now here's Evans. 6 on the shot clock. Lets it go from 14. And that one hits back iron. Hornets trail by 6. Kicks it to Hawes. He feeds it to Kid Gilchrist. Little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. And Ashik sends it back. Wow! Now running up the court, Evans trying to push it up. Cunningham's shot is off.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over it. And going back to Amir Ashik's toughness, you can see it in his face. I mean, he's not going to smile at you. He's not going to show you any expression at all. Just a cold-blooded monster on the floor.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Lin the pass to Kid Gilchrist. From 13 feet, it goes down. Kid Gilchrist has got 12 points in the game.
That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
Come on, New Orleans, your Pelicans dance team.
Big group substitution here for New Orleans. Alexis Ajinça has checked in for Ash. Anderson comes in for Dante Cunningham. Drew Holiday, he's checked in for Eric Gordon. And it's Norris Cole in for Tyreek Evans. Charlotte also making some changes. Zeller, he's checked in for Kaminsky. And it's Lamb in there for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. Here's Cole. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard.
And Steve Clifford might not be the most famous coach in the NBA, but he has plenty of experience, and everyone in the league knows exactly how well-versed he is as a coach.
Lamb, and that's a foul called an Alexis Ajinça. That is his first foul of the game.
You know what? Tried to step in and cut him off, but just didn't get there quick enough.
Yeah, he was one step late that time, Greg.
A minute 20 left here in the third quarter. Zeller setting the pick for Lynn. The pass to Zeller. Lots of room. And it comes off the front of the rim. And Clifford in his third year now as a head coach, Greg. That experience you were just talking about. He has 29 years of coaching under his belt. And he's a Van Gundy disciple. Clark was on the coaching staff for both brothers.
Yeah, and he's been with a lot of teams, Kevin. 13 seasons as an assistant for the Lakers, Rockets, Magic, and Knicks.
Here's Lynn, following the basket by Anthony Davis. They set the pick. Lynn dishes to Hawes. He kicks it to Lamb. Hawes up top, 5 to shoot. That's good. Hawes got his second bucket. New Orleans leading by 4. Feeds to Cole. 26 seconds left in the third quarter. Elbow shot. Here's Ajinça. Another one falls for New Orleans.
Yeah, that's asking a lot from that defender.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, he just doesn't have the size to really be effective in that kind of matchup.
Up top, Lynn. It's deflected, and they're able to recover. The third quarter comes to a close. New Orleans on top. They lead by 6. And coming up as soon as we return from break, the fourth quarter gets underway. And thanks for joining us again as the fourth quarter of play is set to get rolling. It's been a close battle to this point. Pelicans leading by 6. And on the court for Charlotte as we start the fourth. Williams down low with Jefferson. Kemba Walker is out there with Batum. And it's Kidd-Gilchrist in at the 3, the small forward. Now here's Walker, following the miss by Anthony Davis. Jefferson, a screen on Davis. Ball's knocked loose. Evans with the steal. Dishes it to Pondexter. And out of bounds as the Hornets gain possession.
You know, that's hard to explain that play. I mean, I guess he thought he had more room than he did.
Omer Asher, he's checked in for Anthony Davis. Here's Batum. Pass to Walker. Outside Williams. Pass to Kidd-Gilchrist. Ball stolen. Oh, and here we go with Gordon. Nobody back. And he gets it to go. Gordon's got the lead up to 8 now for New Orleans. And we'll get a look at how the hustle stat game has been going for the Pelicans.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
They have, but you also can't overlook how well they defended the rim. as they've challenged every shot and also gotten quite a few blocks as well.
That savvy little up fake there, fooling the D. 7 points for Al Jefferson. A little over a minute and a half of the fourth quarter gone now. Evans kicks to Gordon. There's the pass to Cunningham. Asik with a screen on Williams. Cunningham passes to Pondexter. It's rebounded by Kid Gilchrist.
He's always going to have a difficult time finishing when the defense is in his face like that.
Picked by Williams. From deep, Walker. Asik pulls it in. Asik's got 4 rebounds in this game. Evans outside. The dish to Pondexter. Releases. The shot no good. And the Hornets now going the other way. Left side, Kid Gilchrist. Williams a screen, and it's Walker penetrating. Excellent use of the screen that time. Now just a 4-point Pelican lead.
How about the screen that frees him up, though, for the jumper? And watching Kemba Walker play, so explosive. An undersized floor general, nasty crossover. Really a scorer's mentality, maybe too much of a scorer's mentality to ever be a great assist man.
Find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Guys, over that last break, I listened in on Alvin Gentry's huddle. His advice clear-cut. I want to see you playing to win, not playing not to lose. I don't care what the lead is. We do not back off.
New Orleans leading by 4. Greg talking about Walker. You have to love the way he competes, his willingness, Clark, to put the team on his shoulders and carry him.
Love that competitive spirit of his. They're actually figuring out how to use him best, but he's such a dynamic offensive player. You've got to give him room to be creative at that end.
Cunningham gets the bucket.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
Now, here's Walker. Offensive rebound. Picked him clean. Gordon with it. He's picked up by Walker. It's Evans on the wing. Out of bounds. Charlotte takes possession. New Orleans making a switch here. Davis is checked in. Zeller, he's checked in for Charlotte. Hornets trail by 6. Outside, Walker. Here's Jefferson. Pass to Zeller. It's a nice pass in here by Charlotte. Outside, Kid Gilchrist. 6 to shoot. Zeller setting the pick for Kid Gilchrist. From about 19 feet, it's rebounded by New Orleans. Asik's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Evans with it. Jefferson picks him up. Davis with a screen on Jefferson. Evans kicks to Gordon.
And Kevin, lots of standing around and watching by the defense that time.
And he makes them pay, doesn't he, Greg? With that emphatic slam.
And guys, that'll get his heart rate up a little bit, I can tell you that. Watch out, he can be a dangerous player when his motor is revved up that way.
Special thanks to Kia for that sweet Kia Slam Cam replay. Walker against Evans. Walker dishes to Jefferson. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two.
At the line for two.
Okay, gentlemen, two shots. Two shots.
It's the first, and that narrows the gap to 7.
Check out the game for Jefferson. He has 8 points, and they've got to be happy with his work on the glass, too.
They really do. He is not giving up any ground in the paint, and when the ball goes up, you know he's going to be there to fight for it.
Both free throws good from Al Jefferson.
Boy, did they need those free throws to go down. They're definitely within striking distance.
Pelicans leading by 6. It's Evans on the wing, guarded by Walker. Here's Davis, and the shot is long. The Hornets have gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. Here's Jefferson, and there's the bucket. Stay with it on the offensive glass, getting it done.
He is pouring it on in the second half, guys. I mean, a much better showing than he had before the break.
Come on, New Orleans, your Pelicans dance team.
.11 left in the fourth. Evans against Walker. Screen by Ajik. Davis drives in. He took good advantage of that screen.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
New Orleans, your Pelicans dance team.
And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
Shoot two.
So the first one drops, and that brings them within 5. Second free throw, no good that time. He really wanted that one.
Not nearly as productive a trip to the line as he'd have liked. They need all their free throws to go down at this point.
The feed to Usher. He dishes it to Pondexter. Some nice passing here by New Orleans. 5 on the clock. Pulls up on the wing. Tries to keep it alive. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Gordon. .30 seconds left to play in the final quarter. Outside, Walker. Fires from 14. It's good! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
Yeah, crucial basket there. And as long as they've got that mismatch, big on small, they've got to take advantage.
Well, I don't doubt that they clearly recognize that. And because they do, they're going to continue to milk it.
And an intentional foul right there.
Yeah, you have to do that, though. You can't just let them dribble the game out.
Exactly. I mean, you got to stop the clock any way possible and hope they alligator arm a few of those free throws.
For your Pelicans, Quincy Pondexter at the line for 2.
Good on the first, and that gives them a 4-point cushion. And he cannot convert on the second. That misses.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Pelicans dance team.
An important possession here.
No doubt about it, partner. Very important.
Boy, watch out, watch out. Walker has caught 5.
And they need to stop the clock, so there's a foul.
That's his first personal foul. 3rd team foul. At the line for your Pelicans, Eric Gordon. 2 shots.
First free throw is good, and that makes it a 3-point lead. Second one is good, hitting both at the line, and it's a 4-point ball game.
Outstanding work at the foul line to make this a 2-possession game.
Kicks it to Batum. Zeller passes to Walker. Batum dishes to Zeller. Outside, Walker. Back to Kid Gilchrist. Off target with that shot. So it's a narrow victory for New Orleans, pulling it out for a W. It was up for grabs right until the final seconds clock.
You know what? They showed their character in crunch time, though, doing what had to be done to send these fans home happy.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching. So long and good night, everyone.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, much appreciated. And now let's present our Jordan player of the game, Eric Gordon. He was the steady and reliable hand throughout the game tonight, stepping into more of a leadership role in this performance tonight.
This was a complete performance we witnessed here tonight, Ernie. Hey, Shaq, check this out. On offense and defense, don't you think he led his team better than anyone we've seen in a long time?
Yeah.
He's got to be worn down because all that effort on every possession, it'll tire you out.
Well, certainly a solid night for him offensively. Excellent production pretty much everywhere. He was what I call NSV, Ernie, a nice safety valve. When they needed to open up the valve, he came through with that offense.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, I'm Ernie Johnson. We'll see you again soon.